of people crowd the streets during Mardi Gras, and it can be a little easy to lose sight of your kids. Mobile PD has come up with this system that allows you to put in personal information such as your name, phone number, and address to help locate any lost child. Just place it around their necks, and you're good to go. In Mobile, Gabrielle Chambers, NBC 15. Kim and Greg, this 4-page appeal outlines why they feel blindsided. They say they weren't notified that the church was being sold and the Archbishop broke the law. During parades, you can expect to see quite a few interesting things. Outrageous floats, endless beads, and agents, both in uniform and undercover. Yes, Kim, I'm standing where the alligator was sitting right here in this grassy area. You can see it's pretty close to this walking trail here at Tricentennial Park. Luckily, Animal Control was able to scare it back into the water by pulling their truck up. They say they're going to monitor it the next couple days to make sure it doesn't come back out. Here in Mobile, Gabrielle Chambers, NBC 15 News. Rolling dice is a popular gambling game in many communities, but tonight, with just the flick of a wrist, one game turned deadly. Kim, you can see this railroad is unguarded. There are lights, but community members say that is not enough. Installing crossing arms here will help save lives.
A high-speed chase turned into a shootout Friday evening, sending the suspect to the hospital. 40-year-old Cecil James led Pritchard PD to a neighborhood off of Lapine Drive, where the pursuit came to a dangerous end. One homeowner's yard was left riddled with glass after one bullet broke his window.
I see the bullet hole, man. That was easily, I had a nephew that sleeps in that room. That could have easily been him.
Police say James fired shots at an officer from his vehicle. The officer returned the fire and shot James multiple times. There were other operations involving the FBI and other agencies who were also on the scene.
Oh, it was scary for a lot of us over here because it was just so loud. And we just didn't know what was happening at the time. We just thought maybe it was a drive-by. We never have anything like that over here. This is a quiet neighborhood. So my wife and I, we just got on the floor and just stayed until it was over with.
Some residents were not too happy about the way the situation was handled. Glasper says his family, including his disabled brother, were put at risk and that those shots should have never been fired.
I know they have to apprehend a suspect, but they need to take in consideration where they're at. I've been in the military. We got we can't fire on hospitals and churches and all that. And so I'm saying they should take in consideration, find some more ways to eliminate the situation without open fire in the neighborhood. Where what if you killed a innocent person?
The 16-year-old immigrant accused of homicide was denied bond today and will continue to be held until his next court date. Domingo Francisco Diego is accused of killing local teacher and mother Sonia Jones in a head-on collision last week. Last Friday, Diego's bond hearing was postponed because he needed an interpreter. He's since received a Spanish-speaking counsel.
It's very scary. I mean, anytime you're in a court of law, it's a very nerve-wracking experience. But to be in a court of law in a country that you don't speak the language, I can't even imagine how much more terrifying that would be.
The district attorney's office stands by to prosecute the teen, but someone else is waiting for him. U.S. Immigration Service.
We did inform the court that if the defendant is granted bond, that regardless of whether he makes it or not, he will be deported because that process has already begun. Yeah, the importance of making sure he doesn't get a bond is that he is here in Alabama facing these charges, being held accountable for them. If he's deported, then he'll be sent to Guatemala and we'll never see him again. He will not face these charges.
Diego claimed asylum from Guatemala and never appeared for his court date. He's been running free since then. He's now being charged with fleeing the scene of an accident and vehicular homicide, each carrying a maximum sentence of 10 years.
The case is still under investigation. We do want to see him held accountable, so we will prosecute him to the fullest extent that we're able to.
Double murder over dice. Blue lights flashed on Dolphin Island Parkway Friday night after the sound of gunshots rang throughout the neighborhood. Willie Moffitt and Carlos Cunningham were killed.
A dice game and money, so two people are now dead over an argument over about $40.
Brothers Cedric and Jerome Williams are charged for their murder. We learned 33-year-old Jerome has been arrested more than 6 times in the past for nonviolent offenses. Cedric, who is 27, has been arrested 6 times, all on drug charges and domestic violence. One of the brothers was shot during the altercation.
2 people dead, 3 people shot, including one of the defendants. He was shot in self-defense once he began shooting.
According to investigators, gambling has high stakes.
There was money exchanging hands, quite a bit of money at this apartment.
But this game had higher stakes. The lives of Cunningham and Moffitt. Family and friends held a vigil for the victims. They lit candles and released balloons in their honor.
It is sad that these kids gonna miss their father.
2 men gone over a game of dice.
I told her she better not move, it's gonna get bad.
What started off as regular rush hour traffic turned into fiery chaos after a high-speed police chase came to a dangerous end. One victim risked his safety to help capture the suspects.
My husband took off after them and helped them capture them.
Police say there are 2 suspects, a man and woman, on the run in a stolen vehicle. They would have gotten away if it wasn't for Nick Laughlin, who in shock and in flip-flops took after them.
Back of the truck kind of went airborne, and then they hit him, and then he slid into us and tore the front of our car up. And they got out and ran, so I hopped out and I managed to catch the girl.
The police took it from there.
I feel bad for whoever they done wrong up the road or whatever. I feel bad for that fella there, you know, they ruined a lot of people's day today.
Vehicle after vehicle got mangled in this accident, but most people were just happy to be alive, calling their loved ones to let them know they had survived the crash.
It just shook us up really bad.
The female suspect is now in custody. The man hopped a fence and is still on the run.
The cops said they was wanted for murder. I don't know what for, but they've been chasing him since Mount Lamar.
We will continue to update you as this story develops.